I'm not happy to be offering this amendment. I was doing my thing, as I have on these crypto bills. My standard for supporting stablecoin and FIT21 was very simple, not necessarily shared by everyone on this committee, or at least on this side of the committee, which is, are we making the status quo better? And make no mistake, FIT21 and this bill introduces risk into the system. But we were making good progress in our negotiations. I have deep concerns about Section 202 because it provides an exemption for the offering of digital commodities that I think is dangerous, but we've made good progress in terms of at least making it smaller. We had a lot of other wins, but I have been consistent in the last week in hearings, in page turns, in a meeting at Coinbase in New York, in saying we need to do no harm to existing securities legislation, regulation, and I think we're making some progress. And critically, we need platinum conflict of interest prohibitions here. And out of goodwill and good faith that I have for the chairman, I'm not going to add to the thousands of minutes of description of why conflict of interest prohibitions are so necessary, but to say that unlike during FIT21, we have all been treated to one of the most egregious, shocking abuses from the White House. I promise I will keep this very short because we've covered this ground and beaten this horse, imaginable. And my Republican colleagues know that if the Bidens had done this, we wouldn't get near this building. It would be white hot with impeachment. So all I'm asking for in this amendment, and I'm interested to see what the substantive arguments are against it, is that any elected official who is tasked with regulating this instrument that we're breathing life into, the digital commodity, not be able to issue a digital commodity. Now, the ranking member says she doesn't believe that we should be allowed to hold cryptocurrency. There's an active debate in this House over whether we should be able to hold individual stocks. I don't know what the right answer is there, but I do know that it is madness that we should be allowed to issue a meme coin or a digital asset or a digital commodity because it's just a vehicle for a bribe. And that should be as true of the freshman member on this committee as it is to the President of the United States, who is accruing increasing authority, thanks to the Supreme Court, over the independent regulatory agencies. So again, out of respect, I'm not going to pound the dead horse of why we're doing this, but to say that it's unimaginable to me that we would breathe life into a new concept, a digital commodity, give it the sheen of regulated prudence, and not say that if you have a role in regulating, you can't issue a digital commodity. I remain open to negotiation on this, but we need to do that. And it's not a novel concept, right? We are prohibited by law, a law that was put together in this committee, the Stock Act, from investing in IPOs. We can't do that. We are prohibited from having outside income in excess of $31,815. This is not a novel or exotic concept. And I think, unlike everything else in the bill, it's really simple and straightforward. And I think we're going to have no problem explaining this conflict of interest issue to our exuberant agriculture Democrats, because they may not have noticed that Section 208 of Title 18 imposes ethics obligations on everyone except the president and the vice president. So again, Chairman, I take no pleasure in this, but this is a gating item. We need this conflict of interest prohibition. So this amendment does that, and I hope that we can either pass this amendment or come to some agreement whereby nobody who is in charge of regulating this new instrument gets to issue one. I will yield back.